good. Well, whenever you do any kind of surveys of customers, you find out that they are interested in location. So location is very clearly something that we think is important to us. It really makes part of what you are about mobility correct, which is why we've all expected location to be important, right? And hasn't been. But there are three main elements that you need to really have location work. You have to have good maps. You have to have the high-speed data networks that allow those maps to be delivered to phones. And the third element, which we've been very big believers of at TCS, is you have to have precise location. So cell site sector information, which is primarily what's been available in Europe, is not really the kind of service. It certainly cannot be what you use for navigation purposes. You need something that really, when a person sees a "you are here" dot on a map, they want to know that's where I am. So from our perspective, those three things are now becoming available. We are finding more and more mapping technology is available. More and more people, including companies like Google, have put maps and made maps available for general use of population. The high-speed data networks are finally there. We have high-speed data networks all across the country and across the world now. And now the third part is the precise location. That part's been the elusive part that we haven't had. In the United States, the companies like Qualcomm put high-speed GPS technology into the chipsets. So the CDMA technology that is very prevalent in the United States had GPS built in. Only now is GSM now starting to put GPS chips, and you can see all across the show here where people are coming out with boards and phones that have GPS built into it, which means precise locations here, which our company does two things. First of all, we provide an end-to-end location solution. So though we've primarily focused on the infrastructure, the things that make location deliverable to applications, we also now bring applications to market as well. So we've been focusing on navigation and points of interest type applications, and we're starting to deploy those worldwide. But the other thing that is important is other players are starting to come out with applications as well. And so now, because of the broad ecosystem we have for location, we have more and more companies and developers who are able to bring applications to market, which means more and more choices for the consumer. There will be a number of different what we call monetization models. Some of them will be free that involve advertising, so the back end. Some will be where you provide information, maybe mobile commerce or mobile marketing, where again the consumer doesn't pay, but the back-end company pays because they want to bring the consumer to their brick and mortar location. And then the third will be the actual operator who will offer the services at very low cost or high value, and effectively give them social networking, give them the ability to find their handset wherever it might be located, give them navigation kind of applications, things that we have been asking for as consumers and are willing to pay for. Well, I think you said it perfectly. There are different applications that need the different services. And so what we think is that location itself isn't what the customer is going to charge for, the operator is going to charge for. It's going to be tied into the application. So there will be some applications, like let's say the ones that are like weather, or maybe even some social network applications that don't really require huge precise location. Is my friend in the same city as I am, so that we could go out for dinner together? And those might be paid through advertising models or other models that are more free, more opportunity for the customer to use them. Then there will be the others that are very precise location, like navigation, where the customer knows I've got to be precisely located to get that turn-by-turn instructions, and therefore we'll see value in paying the carrier for those opportunities, the operator.
So you envision that type of scenario where accuracy is going to be a major factor in terms of price? And
correct. But it will be tied probably to the application using the accuracy, as opposed to the carrier saying, for a course, for cell site sector, you'll charge, 5 pence, and for, precise location will charge 20 pence. We don't think that that's going to be the kind of scenario that we'll see. It will be more in light of, for navigation, you'll charge, €10 a month, and for, weather or a Starbucks, find where the nearest Starbucks is to your general location, it will be free. Exactly. I totally agree with you. In the United States, you're right, we lived through the mandate. And in some respects, the handsets were there and the technology was there, but the carriers still were not rolling out commercial location services. I personally believe, and you won't be able to get an operator to say this, I don't think, but I personally believe that the operators were reluctant to roll out, a buddy finder service that would be advertised on the front page or on the inside section on a newspaper saying, hey, find your buddy, precisely within meters so that you can go and have dinner somewhere, and then on the next page somebody died because their location solution did not locate them when the person dialed 911.
It's happened.
It happened in the early stages.
Yeah.
That's correct. And because the technology hadn't been fully deployed yet and hadn't been fully vetted and used and figured out, and so the operators essentially spent another 3 to 5 years understanding the technology before they tried to commercialize it. So just because you have a mandate doesn't mean it automatically means you're going to get commercial services. And in many respects, we think that the way the European Union is doing it, which is to sort of encourage the carriers, the operators to move forward with location technologies and bring something to market, encourages it but doesn't force it in such a way that it will slow the services down. Latin America not having those mandates is not necessarily going to slow them down. I think what's important is, will they have the devices? And they have the CDMA devices. Now they'll have the GSM devices, and we think that will make a big difference. The other question will be maps. Will they have the maps? And in some countries you'll have stronger mapping technology, and therefore they'll roll it out faster. Others will have to get creative about how they provide it. And we work with companies like that and countries and operators like that to figure out how to bring the right mapping resources to provide their solutions for them.